Welcome, Pisces, to your 2023 annual forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and if you'd like to find out more about me, just check out the information that's in the description box. And if you would like to see your in-depth monthly reading, just have a look at the playlist on my channel, and it's very easy to find it. It's simple, even a baby could do it, as many babies have told me. So, we are going to take 12 cards, one for each month of the year, and then we will have a look at them together. So let's see what there is in store for you. First, in January, the highly talented and attractive Pisces. Well, let's have a look. There is the Nine of Cups. Well, that's your sign. That's Jupiter in Pisces. Let's have a look there. There's the Two of Cups. Highly emotional start to the year. There's the Nine of Wands. Good emotions, I must say. Two of Swords. Interesting. Swords can be difficult, but not necessarily so. They're the product of the union of Wands and Cups, of course, so they can be turbulent. There's the Ace of Pentacles, though. And let's have a look at this one for June, which is the Queen of Swords. Now for the second half of the year, let's see what there is in store for you, shall we? And dig into the middle somewhere. I don't want to wreck these cards. They're actually really good. I like them anyway. There's the Four of Cups. There was a lady in Chicago. There's the Eight of Swords, that would be. A lady in Chicago was the artist on it. Beth Martini, I think her name is. I might be wrong. She's an independent developer, and I obtained them directly from her. So, martini as in a drink. Three of what cups? There is now the Knight of Cups. Lots of water, lots of emotion. Ace of Swords, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last one for the year in December is... it doesn't get any better than that. The Empress. Well, come down. I'll bring the camera around. Why don't you come and sit down next to me? We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Wow, what a fantastic spread for you. Let's have a look at January 2023 and see what there is in store. Well, here is the Nine of Cups, or as I would call it, the Lord of Material Happiness. Now, as I indicated when I drew the card for you, this is Jupiter ruling the second decan of Pisces, that 1st to the 9th of March. Now, Jupiter is your planet. It rules Pisces, so this is a very complementary energy. And Jupiter's philosophical approach aligns well with your spirituality. Now, Jupiter also brings you great good luck. And Jupiter's softer concerns, such as care, compassion, and the spirit life, are beautifully expressed through your sign of the sensitive Pisces. There is an enormous capacity to love, although, as so often is the case with this gift, this is often won through lots of difficult times in the past. Nevertheless, this is a time of bliss, overflowing love, deep joy, and blessings. Now, the influence of Jupiter here creates more than just a feeling of mere sympathy. A great sense of blessedness arises from total joy, and the quality of this joy shows that it is deeply rooted like a beautiful tree. It is not the result of some superficial pleasure. It speaks of bliss, which derives its energy from the deepest reaches of a soul at peace. This moment is filled with harmony and inner joy. Open yourself to it totally and don't miss out. Now, that is followed in the month of February by the Lord of Love. Fantastic. Well, the Lord of Love, this is Venus this time, the planet of beauty, love, and relationship in Cancer. Well, this really exemplifies the benefit of you having drawn this card for February, because Venus is the most receptive of planets, and Cancer is about nurturing, comfort, support, and healing. So there's great receptive love here for you, happy relationships, and a great deal of emotional exchange. There are close bonds, togetherness, love, harmony, and a relationship which I think is strengthening. Certainly a great deal of mutual love and respect and very happy relationships. You understand, I hope, that your readiness to receive love is what makes you attractive. Surrender to yourself, to others, and to life. Then we turn to March, and we have what is here the Lord of Great Strength, the Nine of Wands. Now, just having a look at this, in the numerology here, the number 9 I have associated mystically with the moon, and the astrology of this card in this position is also that of the moon, this time the moon ruling the second decan of Sagittarius. So there is a double lunar influence, as the moon rules both the decan of Sagittarius and the numerology of the card. Now, this speaks to me of digging deep. It can also speak to me of your subconscious during this period. In the interim, I see a great deal of power gained through your unification of conscious and unconscious energies. There's a wholeness here, a determination, a great strength of character, courage under fire, and defending what you have worked for. There is a great belief in yourself in March. Now, with that double lunar influence, it's important to understand that when the unconscious becomes visible, you are faced with many things you have covered up in order to avoid looking at them. Now, this can produce, well, fear of some sort, the fear of feeling painful wounds you've covered up and hoped to forget. There may also simply be fear of your own yet unproven strength, which reaches into all areas of your life and reorganizing them. This is a time for you to reach into yourself and discover new depths of strength and power that you never thought you had. Now, you may encounter obstacles, but the point is that you will have the strength to overcome them. Pay attention to your dreams at this time, particularly for you, Pisces, and say to yourself at this time, I know more and more clearly who I am. This recognition leads to the full development of my potential strength. And then in April, I think we have this Two of Swords, which is here. And between the Nine of Wands and this Ace of Coins, and in the 4th position in April, this would be the moon again, this time ruling the first decan of Libra. This is really the Lord of Peace. Now, the moon in Libra, this is really a happy combination, you know. With the moon in the sign of Libra, you're likely to have a deep need for peace and harmony in your life. Now, as you know, Libra is symbolized by the scales in ordinary astrology, isn't it? You'll be familiar with the figure of the lady holding the scales. Well, she's about bringing balance, and the balance that is required here may include things in your personal environment, or your work, or your relationship with others. The purpose of this card is neutrality, being neither good nor bad, so balance. But this definitely speaks to me, for you, of inner peace, the power to make decisions, and decisions regarding a situation of or relationships which engender emotional and spiritual peace for you. There is around here great sense of agreement and a mental stability with you. You know, inner peace is a special gift. Protect it, but never try to cling to it. And then in May, we have for you the Ace of Coins, or the Lord of the root of the powers of the earth. Now, I think very much I'm getting a feeling here that Taurus, Gemini, and Aries are very likely to be important to you. This is a time when you will have and see the beginnings of something which is tangible. This speaks of prosperity and growth, of material abundance and improving finances. Now, it may well be that there is a promotion or a pay rise here. Certainly there is a great degree of good luck and unexpected money coming in. You will have a deep well of grounded, practical, organizational ability, which is going to stay with you all throughout the rest of the year. There are inner and outer richness indicated here, great success, and the unification of body and soul, material and spirit, heaven and earth. It's about wholeness. There's a new consciousness with you now, bringing with it an attitude of continual development. Now, this energy will mirror your readiness in May to live a life that is inwardly and outwardly rich. All that you need is already at hand. Give yourself up to the fullness of life and learn to use your wings. And then in June, we have what I remember was the Queen of the Thrones of Air, otherwise known to the uninitiated as the Queen of Swords. Now, what do you have to tell my friend here, madam? Well, first of all, she's saying that Libra and Virgo are going to be important to you. I'm getting a lot of Libra energy around here, a lot of Virgo energy. And that association with Libra connects her to the Justice card. This is about you making clear decisions based on fact and fairness, similar to the Queen of Swords herself. Now, court cards, of course, can be of either gender, but I will refer to her as a woman for the obvious reason. And this speaks to me of a woman who is in June, graceful, very perceptive, a keen observer, a subtle interpreter, an intense individualist, and someone who is confident and gracious. You will, I think, at this time, I think people like her, and you might find that you will acquire intense love and devotion from the most unexpected quarters during this period of June. Yeah, it's just coming up here. You will be cutting through old masks and roles, and there's a clarity to your thinking. You will be rational, intellectual, logical, and objective. Now, this foretells that you will need to use your intellect to make an unbiased decision about a situation. Now, compassion and empathy may distract you, so you must go with your head and not your heart. It isn't a time to beat around the bush with respect to a situation. Rather, it is a time for you to decide and to act. You are in the process, I think, here of separating yourself more and more from old roles and behavior patterns. Now, this may bring painful experiences with it, but it's worth it. The clarity that you gain frees you. Just say this to yourself at the time, that my only duty in life is to remain true to myself. Now that takes us then to, I think, and it does, yes, so there's June, it takes us into July. And here we have the Four of Cups, the Lord of blended pleasure. Now this is here where it is in July, and at the start of that line it is the moon in Cancer. Well, this is great because the moon is the ruler of Cancer. I think that the underlying message here, though, is that you will want to be emotionally fulfilled in a deep way at that time, but maybe you might be going about it the wrong way. Do you know, the moon is, as you would be aware, associated with the principle of flux and reflux and change, and you might find that your emotional states may be shifting, just like the phases of the moon itself. Now, be careful that you don't just settle for what you have at this time, and also be careful about wanting something that you can't have. But nevertheless, there is around here great love, tenderness, care, and emotional riches. Now you are being given much love and devotion. Enjoy it without becoming dependent on it. Now I think that in July you might ask yourself whether you are in any relationship in which you feel restricted. And you might, after answering that question, then determine what it is that you are supposed to do about that. There's also the danger, I think, when I say the danger, there's the possibility of seeking temporary pleasure as an escape for feelings of discontent. And that could include things like substance abuse, or you may be looking at material things to make up for a lack of emotional happiness. But there is this great love around you, so maybe this is something that's crossing your mind, because this reminds you to realize what you do have and to appreciate it, because as you know, there are plenty of other people who are much worse off than you are. Now then, in August, we come to the Lord of Shortened Force, otherwise known as the Eight of Swords. Well, next to that Four of Cups, and with this Three of Cups between it, it's unusual that it should appear. It is Jupiter that rules the first decan of Gemini. Now, this is good because Jupiter is your planet. Now, Jupiter is also the ruler of Sagittarius. And for Jupiter to get into Gemini, say from Sagittarius, it would need to go 180 degrees away from its home in Sagittarius to get into Gemini, and therefore it's going to be in detriment. So Jupiter is weakened, and the inquisitive nature of Gemini, I think, inhibits Jupiter even further. So a weakened Jupiter means that you might feel that you can't get what you want right now due to too many, that's the Gemini aspect, distractions, which may or may not be self-created. It's also the case that in an overall situation, you may be having a hard time about which is the best option for you to take at the moment. You could have analysis paralysis with your energy scattered on endless productive thoughts. Well, I think that the solution is to let things rest and develop on their own for a while. As long as doubt concerning these decisions at this time remains, don't go for anything new. But remember that Jupiter is the bringer of unforeseen and unexpected change for the better, and problems which seem to you to be unsolvable at that time will find their own solution in their own way. And Jupiter obviously will do its work in August, because then in September you have the Lord of Abundance, or the Three of Cups. Now, the astrology of this is the planet of Mercury in the second decan of Cancer. Now, as I mentioned, Cancer is the most maternal of the signs, and Well placed here with this number 3, because I associate the number 3 with, well, with gestation, with the growth and creation of a fetus within the womb. And Cancer people, well, they can communicate their feelings in a sensitive way, can't they? But with Mercury in the sign of Cancer here and in this card, you will find with Mercury will and communications ability. And in Cancer, there's a nurturing around you. So you can express your feelings fully with people that you are close to. And that will just enrich your life. Here you will have an overflowing exchange of love, rare, valuable feelings and perception which can be communicated intimately. Now the love represented here is of the highest order. It is available to be shared with, well, I think with only just a small circle of people. And these 3 cups, actually, they may stand for 3 important people in your life with whom you can exchange these precious and exquisite feelings with great intimacy. Now, such relationships are rare gifts. Care for them with respect and gratitude. You will have something especially valuable to share. Be open for the people who you can share these exquisite feelings with. They are also a gift. You don't need to look for them. Then we turn to October, and we have here whom? Knight of Cups. The Prince of the Chariot of Waters. Look, I think Scorpio is going to be important. I get a lot of Scorpio energy around here, so they may be important to you. I also get Libra around here. And this is my comments about gender of court cards remains the same, but this is a young man of subtlety, of secret violence, craft, maybe almost like an artist who is calm on the surface, but that masks an intense passion. This is someone who I think has, and it's probably someone that you know, I think someone who has the ability to detach, as Libra that I mentioned is an air sign, and that's detached. So the ability to detach from the heavy, intense, controlling emotions of Scorpio. Now, I think that this is a person who has control of their emotions, but they can appear detached and cool, and I think that this is often a front for insecurity and fear. He is completely without conscience in the ordinary sense of the word. He is perfectly ruthless, and he cares intensely for power, information, and his own aims. He feels no responsibility for others, and he can't be relied upon. I get a lot of desire, wishes, craving here. But as far as you are concerned, I think that this is a time when you need to recognize that your wishes and desires must be perceived and recognized. They are fundamental driving forces in your life. It is only possible to use and master them if you are wide awake and alert. Instead of suppressing them, you can use them in the process of becoming more aware. Now, when seen in this way, they are a vehicle that helps you journey into the world within. Then we go to November. November, of course, the month of Thanksgiving for our American audience here. And this is the Ace of Swords, or the Lord of the Root of the Powers of Air. Now, I think that I'm getting a lot of Aquarius around here, Capricorn, and I think that this is particularly pertinent to you as Pisces here as well. This is a time when you will have intellectual clarity, original thinking, brilliant powers of thought, almost something like a divine inspiration. Your present clarity will be a wonderful condition for your undertakings. You'll be able to recognize facts and call by names things which other people would prefer to just, well, to sweep under the carpet, I would say. You know what I mean. This entails a great responsibility on your behalf, though. Be sure never to express your insights heartlessly, but when you are fully in contact with love, use your sword without sparing yourself or others. And then finally, in December of 2023, we have the Empress, the daughter of the mighty ones, who you see appears pregnant here, and that's not surprising because I do see pregnancy and femininity around this card. Don't be afraid if you're a male, because you do have feminine aspect to you as well. Both sexes have principles of the other sex within them as well. I think you will now be in tune with the beauty of your life, and you may well be exploring your relationship with your mother, or with a maternal figure, or you may well be acting as a maternal figure to somebody else. But so close to this Knight of Cups, I think this means that you could also be acting as a paternal figure to someone, or seeking advice and counsel from someone who you think could well be a father figure to you. This reminds you that spirituality is expressed from the heart and not from your head, and you will be really nurturing yourself and others. There's a great degree of wisdom here, the fulfillment of your potential. Successful business opportunities around because Venus is here, and Venus is also about money. So it's a good time for money, and it's bathed in love as well. What a great year for you. Well done.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that reading as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. I think that this is going to be a fantastic 2023 for you. Truly I do. And I think it's something that you should be looking forward to. And because it's got great things in store, as you have just seen. And do have a look at the monthly readings that I provide, and you can check that out on the playlist, or subscribe and get notified so that you see where these things are. But until I see you again, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. And until then, it's bye for now.